Greetings, everyone. My name is Lokita Maka. Welcome to the second session or the second part of animal studies. So today we'll look into the ruminant animals and we'll do different kinds from cattle breeds to sheep breeds as well as the goat breeds. So let's start with the first one, the cattle breeds. So with the cattle breeds, we will categorize it according to their main uses. So we will do the beef breeds, then we will do the dairy breeds, and then we'll also do the dual purpose breeds. Now these refer to those animals that are good at both milk and meat. Now let's start with the beef breeds. So with these beef breeds, we'll categorize them into the indigenous types as well as the exotic types. So the indigenous types are also referred to Bos indicus or the African breeds. Then with the exotic, they are referred to as Bos taurus, and these are also European types. Let's start with the indigenous breeds. So I've got three breeds that we'll discuss here. Mostly we'll discuss their characteristics as well as the adaptation. So looking at the first one, the Afrikaner breed. So with this breed, with the color first, it has a deep red color and it also has the long spreading horns. One thing to note about these animals is that they are large animals. A cow can weigh around 600 kgs and a bull can weigh around 1000 kgs. They have got thick hides, and when it comes to their meat, the meat is very tender. And these breeds have got a docile temperament and they are disease resistant as well as heat tolerant. When it comes to the cows, of these breeds of the Afrikaner. An Afrikaner cow will have excellent mothering abilities. Then let's look into the second ones, the Nguni breed. So this is a multicolored breed. It has various pattern and their hides. So the hides will come in various patterns and they make very good drought animals. So if you are looking for a breed that will help you with your drought power, if you want to use animals for planting, plowing, and all those things, these are good breeds. These are excellent breeds for that. And when it comes to their adaptation, just like many African breeds or many indigenous breeds, they will thrive well in harsh conditions as well as disease-ridden areas. And then let's look into the third one, the drunken specker. Now, these either a bull or a cow, they'll have a glossy black and smooth coated hide. Usually they are medium to large frame when it comes to their size, and they also disease resistant as well as they are also tolerant to heat as well as resistant to parasites. Now let's look into the exotic breeds. So these are breeds that are not originally from Africa, so they come from other countries. So these are the Bos taurus types or they are the European types. So it's up to you what you want to call them. So we're going to look firstly at the Hereford. The Hereford has got a red color, then it has white heads, and now they have short horns. They've got short down horns, and also they are suited to to hard work. And also another thing, they not fancy when it comes to grazing. They can graze in poor grazing areas. And but the saddest part now, as compared to the indigenous breeds, these breeds are not resistant to African diseases and also parasites. Then the second one, we have a Charolais. So these breed originates from France. Yes, so they are creamy white in color. And the nice thing with them, they can withstand harsh weather conditions, and they also make good drought animals, as we have mentioned with the Nguni breeds. So these can also make good drought animals. Usually they are medium to large frame. So then the third one is the Brahman. So originally the Brahman comes from India. So with the Brahman, it has got a hump and it has got a tulip. So when you look into the Brahman, you will see an indigenous breed. They so similar to the indigenous breeds because they will have this fatty hump on their shoulders, and this fatty hump, it helps with the storage of water. So now what does this mean? It means that a Brahman can withstand heat because there is storage of water there, and also the drooping ears as the julep as well. They help with the heat deposition. So in color, they are gray, light gray to dark. So they usually have oily skin as well as smooth skin. And now this helps to repel insect. So now what does this mean? It means that they are resistant to parasites as well as African diseases. Now let's look into the dairy breeds. So with the dairy breeds, we're going to look into three breeds: a Friesland, a Holstein Friesland. Now, this breed comes in black and white markings, and one of the advantages as a farmer, if you have this breed, is that you will have more milk because these breeds produce more milk and less butter fat. So they also have large body mass. The nice thing again is that they are good natured, and also they are easy to milk. Then we look into the adaptation. When it comes to these breeds, they are not very heat resistant and they are not very good foragers. Then we've got the Jersey, which comes from the island of Jersey. Then this breed is fawn colored and usually it's small. It's not as big. It can weigh about a cow can weigh about 450 kgs, and with this breed as opposed to the Friesland, they produce more butter fat but less milk. Then with the adaptation, they are heat resistant and they are good foragers. So with these two, one is the opposite of the other when it comes to characteristics as well as adaptation. Then the last one we have is the Asia. Now the this is a brown and white breed, red to brown and white, and some of them they also come in black and they are medium sized. So with milk of this breed, it is very white and has a relatively high butter fat content. Then, when it comes to adaptation, they are good foragers and they can produce well under harsh conditions. So now let's come into the dual purpose breeds. So these are breeds um, that can do well in both producing meat and milk. So we're gonna look at three breeds. We've got the Simantella, we've got the red pole, then the Pinsgoer. Now with the Simantella, the color will vary. So it may vary from pale fawn to dark red. Um, Also spotted with white, so you'll see some white spots there, here and there. So with the face is usually white. So it has got shortish horns, which are kept up and back. Then with the adaptation now, these animals can adapt to different environmental and climatic conditions. Then we've got the red paw, which is a breed from England, and it was brought to South Africa in the late 1800s. So with these breed, they are deep red with white tail stitch. So then with the adaptation, they are efficient grazers. That is the nice thing, but they tend to suffer in very harsh conditions. Then we've got the Pinsgoer. Now with the Pinsgoer, they have chestnut markings with whitish markings, and they are very resilient and robust, and they've got strong legs for rough terrain. So yes, that's it for the cattle breeds. Now let's get to the next one, the sheep breeds. So with the sheep breeds as well, we will look into the Mutton Breeds, the wool breeds, as well as the dual purpose breeds. So let's start with the dual purpose breeds. So with the dual purpose breeds, we will look into the Merino, then the Donny Merino, and the Dorset Horn. So with Merino breeds, they are medium to large frame. They have excellent reproductive abilities. These breeds are excellent foragers and they have outstanding growth rate as well as the feed ratio. With the Donny Merino, if we look um, at the ewes, they have high fertility and their lamb growth is very rapid. Then they are hardy and well adapted to a variety of environmental as well as climatic conditions. And with the Donny Merino, they are resistant to fleece rot and fly strike. We also have the Dorset Horn. Now, this is one of the fertile breeds. So they also have the ewes have got great mothering abilities and with abundance of milk, and they can also adapt in different climatic conditions. Then we've got the Mutton breeds. So with the Mutton breeds, we'll start with the Dorper. So the Dorper is black and white headed, as you can see most of the time. It will be black headed, and these breeds produce a very short, light coat of wool, and so they're very good at meat production. They thrive well in low rainfall areas and are able to tolerate extreme temperatures. And with the eaves, they have got good lambing and mothering abilities. Then we've got a Ronde Rip Africana, which has got good quality meat. Now, with this breed, they adapt well. They are very heat. tolerant, and they adapt to harsh, dry areas or climates. So they basically well adapted to desert environments, and they are resistant or tolerant to heat, diseases, as well as parasites. Then we've got Van Roy sheep. Now, with Van Roy, this is a fat-tailed white sheep with just enough wool to protect it from cold. So it is one of the strongest breeds. It is hardy and it is heat resistant as well as drought resistant. So it has a good ability to utilize natural grazing in arid areas, that is in hot and dry areas. Then we've got the Pelt breeds. Now, with the Pelt breeds, these are one multi-purpose breeds. So the lambs, unfortunately, the lambs of these breeds, they are slaughtered for their skins very soon after birth. So these skins will be used to manufacture exclusive garments, and if they happen to survive, then they will be kept for milking, meat, as well as pelts. So they thrive under extremely harsh living conditions. So they can be able to adapt to arid and semi-desert areas. So with the lambs now especially with the Karakul breeds, the lambs will be evaluated within 36 hours after birth, and if they do meet the requirements, then they will be slaughtered for their pelts. Then let's look into the third one, the goat breeds. And now with the goat breeds, we will look into the dairy breeds, the meat breeds, as well as the dual purpose. So let's look into the dairy breeds. Now we've got two of them that we're going to discuss. We've got a Sanin breed, which originates from Switzerland. Now this breed has got a calm temperament. They prefer cooler climates with shades because they are very sensitive to excessive heat and sunlight. So if you have these breeds, you'll have to make sure that at least you have some shaded area where they can be able to sit there, because they are sensitive to heat. And when it comes to their color, they are creamy white, and they've got quite short and smooth hairs. Then we have the Toggenburg. Now, with the Toggenburg, also originates from Switzerland, so they are medium-sized goats. The coat will vary from a light fawn to dark chocolate. Some will also have white markings on the face and on the legs as well. They are a medium milk producer with low butterfat content. So these breeds, they are sensitive to heat as well, and they do better in cooler conditions. But also, again, they are able to adapt into different climatic conditions. Let's look into the meat breeds now. So we've got 3. We'll look into the Savannah goat, we'll have the Boer goat, and then the Kalahari red. So with the Savannah goat, this is an indigenous goat, South Africa's indigenous goat. So they produce a very good, soft and tasty meat. They are resistant to heat, and also when it comes to breeding, they can breed all year round, and They can be fertile and can also, there's a potential there of having multiple kids. So you can get twins there, you can get triplets. Depending on how lucky you are, then there's a Boer goat, which is usually white with brown heads. It has floppy ears and backward curving horns. So this also has excellent meat quality, and they are resistant towards diseases and are able to adapt to harsh conditions. Then we've got the Kalahari Red. So with the Kalahari Red, they are ideal for harsh and semi-arid conditions. So this is they also have floppy ears. They also have floppy ears like the Boer goat. Then they also have the backward curving horns. They they also have excellent walking abilities. Now these will help them to walk for a long time, um, uh, trying to get a feed, so they are less prone to diseases. So yeah, these are very athletic breeds. So that's why we are saying they've got excellent walking abilities. And then we've got the last one, the last breed that we're gonna discuss, the Mohair Breeds. Now, with the Mohair Breeds, we'll only discuss one, which is the Angora goat. So with the Angora goat, they produce a long curling and silky fiber, and this fiber is called a mohair and is highly sought. It is highly sought after. It is similar to the fiber which is produced by the cashmere goat. Unfortunately, we won't discuss that now. So when it comes to this type of a breed, they're not very hardy. They have got a docile temperament, and they are very sensitive to low temperatures. And they do the does are seasonal breeders, and they normally breed in autumn. That's it from me. Thank you very much for joining this session. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Please do comment, leave any comments that you may have, questions that you may have, and also advise which topic you would like me to do next, especially with the grade 10s, grade 11s, as well as grade 12s. Please do like the video, share, and also subscribe into the channel if you haven't subscribed. Thank you. Bye. Much love.